Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 7 of my Road to 120 Slayer series. In this episode, we have a lot of stuff going on. We're going to have a few bosses to kill for Slayer XP, so that is going to be pretty great. Also, we're going to be going through 6 more Slayer tasks and another Reaper task. We got a lot of loot in this episode, and also got quite a bit of Slayer XP as well, so I really hope you guys do enjoy. So for the first task of the video, we got a dragons task. So that was pretty great. We're going to be killing 146 dragons. I decided to do some QBD. I'm definitely not going to go through 146 QBD kills, but I did decide to do at least half of it with QBD kills. I really want to up our cash stack in our loot tab, so I think QBD will be able to do that. And so actually just a few kills in, we managed to get our first rare drop of the episode. We got a Dragonic Visage, which has about a 1 in 100 drop rate, so that was pretty lucky. It's worth over 1 mil, and that was actually my first Dragonic Visage at QBD. I've killed over 500 of these, and that was my first one, so hopefully we'll be able to complete the collection log for QBD pretty soon. I need the pet and also the Dragon Kite Shield. And so anyway, just about 20 kills later, we managed to get our second Dragonic Visage. So we're getting pretty lucky for this task. Another 1 mil drop. Definitely nice to add to the loot tab. And so we finished off killing 78 Queen Black Dragon. We made about 14.7 mil, also 132,000 Slayer XP. So not really much Slayer XP, but this task was mostly for the money. And we sure did make a lot, nearly 15 mil just off one task. That is pretty great. And there you see, we got the 2 Dragonic Visage. We also got a Baby Black Dragon, so that was a pretty unique drop. Haven't got one of those before. Anyway, overall, it was a pretty good trip at QBD, 78 kills and about 15 mil made. And so to finish off the Dragon Slayer task, we decided to go and kill the Celestial Dragons. Made around 760k, but also got 66,000 Slayer XP. So we killed 68 of these to finish off the task. Not too bad. As you can see, we actually got the Dragon Rider Chap, so that was a pretty rare drop. Nice to see. Not really worth much, but pretty interesting. Anyway, nothing too special about this task. We'll move on to the next one. And so next we got a Ganodermic Creatures task. This is actually the first one of the series, so that is pretty nice. I do like killing Ganodermic creatures. They are pretty easy to kill, and they happen to have some pretty good loot, I find. So I definitely didn't mind killing these at all. They were pretty easy to kill. Their only mechanic is if they do come close to you, you will start getting poison damage. So you're supposed to stay away, but they don't really deal that much damage anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they do get a bit close. But that is their only mechanic. Anyway, this task was pretty great. We got a bit of loot. It took around half an hour to complete, which was much better from the dragon task. That probably took me 3 or 4 hours to kill all those QBDs. So this was a nice change in pace, a nice quicker task. And so for this task, we made around 1.3 mil. So not too much, but it was pretty quick. About half an hour, maybe even 20 minutes. So we made around 1.3 mil, and we also got around 52,000 Slayer XP. So not too bad, pretty decent task. And so next we got an Acheron Mammoths task. We're going to be killing 50 of these, and hopefully we're going to be able to do it in one trip. So I don't really like killing Acheron Mammoths. I find they are kind of difficult to kill, especially when I'm not really paying attention and they just start charging on you. That is a bit of chaos, but they aren't too bad. They do have some good drops as well. They are definitely a task that you do need to pay more attention on, which is something I don't really like about that. I prefer the more AFK Slayer tasks, but anyway, I don't mind doing Acheron Mammoths every once in a while. And so the 50 Acheron Mammoths took around 40 minutes to kill, so it didn't take too long. We made around 1.9 mil, so that is pretty good. And then we also got around 210,000 Slayer XP. So the Slayer XP here is really great. The loot is pretty good as well. So it's definitely a task I should keep on doing, even though they do require a little bit more attention when killing them. And so next we picked up a Calgarian demon task. We're going to be killing 67 of these, and this is also my first time killing Calgarian demons, maybe ever on a Slayer task. So that is pretty interesting. I do like them. They have some interesting drops. They do take quite a while to kill sometimes, so that is something not too great about them, but they don't hit very hard. If you have a pack yak full of food, you should be perfectly fine to stay here for your entire task. They also have a lot of stuff on their drop table, including a rare drop chance of getting the Demon Slayer equipment. All that is pretty bad in terms of GP, but the Demon Slayer gloves are actually worth nearly 2 mil. They also have a 1 in 256 of dropping an uncut onyx, which is worth 1.3 mil. So they do have a few rare drop chances. And speaking of rare drop chances, we managed to get the uncut onyx. So that is 1.3 mil. Really lucky getting that. I did not expect that at all. So that is another rare drop in this episode. We got the Dragonic Visages earlier, and now we got an uncut onyx. Not really worth too much, just over 1 mil for all those uniques. But anyway, looking at the total loot from this task, we made around 2.4 mil. Also got around 124,000 Slayer XP. This task probably was a bit longer. It was probably close to an hour to complete. And that is because they do take quite a while to kill. Maybe I should have been using magic instead of melee, but anyway, it was alright. We made around 2.4 mil and got some pretty decent Slayer XP as well. And so now we're going to be completing a Nihil task. So this is another first for the series, first Nihil task. So these are a pretty good creature to kill. I actually recently put them in my recent money making guide that I just uploaded a few days ago. So definitely check that video out if you haven't already. It's pretty much just my favorite Slayer creatures and whatnot. But anyway, for Nihils, they were pretty easy to kill. We just focused on the smoke Nihils. We also used the overloads to make sure that their mechanic didn't put my stats down. So they were really easy to kill. I kind of find them a bit AFK as well, which is what I really like in Slayer tasks. And you don't even need that much food. They don't hit hard at all. So it was a pretty good task overall. And the best drop that you want to pick up from the Nihils is their Avianchi Talons, also the Demon Horns, Icean Feathers, and the Vampire Fangs. So these are the most important drops to pick up because this allows you to make the Nihil pouches where most of your money actually does come from. And so after completing the Slayer task, it took around probably 40 minutes to complete. We made around 1.2 mil and also just 43,000 Slayer XP. As you can see, we also got 11 Avianchi Talons, 1 Icean Feather, and 1 Demon Horn. So I will be making this into the Nihil pouches, which will boost my GP by a lot. And that really is why this is such a good moneymaker. You can make the Nihil pouches, which boost your profit by a lot. It does require 87 summoning to actually make them, so that is one requirement with it. As you can see, the Smoke Nihil pouch is about 100k each. And then the other two around 118k each. I probably should have transmuted the Avianchi Talons into the Icean Feathers to make more Ice Nihil pouches, but didn't do that. So that is something you should probably do if you are looking at doing this right now for a money-making method. And so now we're going to be doing a Reaper task. Gotta fit this in the video. We are going to be getting the Twin Furies, so that's what we're going to be killing for this Reaper task. They are really easy to kill, especially with a two-hand weapon, so I have no problem killing these. Probably the easiest God Wars Dungeon 2 boss, in my opinion. But the drops really aren't that great. Even their unique drops aren't that great anymore. Their Crest of Zamorak is probably their best drop at about 11 mil. And then their two blades, they're only worth around 1.2 mil. So that is pretty much it for this boss. They are usually pretty decent money, around 2 to 3 mil per hour, but usually you don't get a ton of GP from them compared to a boss like Vindicta. And so after killing 7 of these Twin Furies, we only made 330k, so that is pretty awful, averaging about 50k per drop, mostly because we got the dumb Stone Spirit drops. But anyway, we also got 17,000 Slayer XP, completed that Reaper. Definitely not as good as some other Reapers I could have received. And so for the last task of the video, we're going to be killing 229 Dark Beasts. This isn't a great task per se. They don't give too much XP per hour, but the drops are pretty average. So I don't mind doing them just because you do usually make a few mil off of them, and they're pretty easy to kill as well. Also, if you guys do notice, I am getting double XP from this because I did put a ton of bonus XP into Slayer just to speed up 120 Slayer. We are really close to 110. We're nearly 100k off now. So in the next episode, we should be completing that, getting up to 110 Slayer, which is pretty exciting. In all the XP calculations, though, I'm not including the bonus XP, so that is just base XP. And so after completing the Dark Beast task, took around 30 or 40 minutes. We made around 1.5 mil and also about 76,000 Slayer XP. As you can see, most of the money probably came from the rune salvage and the coin drops. Also the herbs. The herbs are really good right now, especially because 120 herb lore. They boosted the price of a lot of them, so that is really nice as well. Anyway, looking at the total loot tab, it is looking really nice. We have a lot of drops in here now. This episode, we made 25 mil alone, also 700,000 Slayer XP, and now in total, the loot tab should be worth around 153 mil, and we also gained nearly 8 mil of Slayer XP over the series. So far it is looking really good, and realistically, if we do keep up this pace, we should make nearly 1 to 2 bill GP by the time we get to 120 Slayer. So that will be pretty crazy, especially to see what this loot tab will look like at that time. I am really going to try to pick up these videos and get more Slayer XP, speed up the 120 Slayer process. So hopefully we do get it much quicker than expected, hopefully within the next few months. Also, I am going to try and live stream this series within the next few weeks. So if you guys want to check that out, just follow my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/silencedrs. So definitely check that out if you are interested. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video, and I really hope you guys did enjoy. We're going to be trying to make these videos at least once or twice per week, so definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you aren't already. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.